Well, after being in the catering business for 20 odd years, we decided that we wanted to open our own business, and that's how we came about Passion for Food. We opened in November 2000, and in November of 2002 we were runner-up for Best New Business of the Year award. Wherever possible we try and employ local people, and wherever possible we try and source local produce. There's a lot of business within the surrounding area for training courses, for business lunches, so we do get quite a bit of business for buffet work.
Well, I've been at Business Link for approximately 2 years now, but previous to that I worked for Tesco as a senior manager, store manager. I've also run my own business teaching wines and spirits as well, but primarily in the retail sector, working my way up from the shop floor, doing all of the management positions in operations and finance, and then obviously working my way into Business Link.
Well, I'm very focused on the day-to-day running of the business and the products that we provide. My husband works a lot in the background, and he looks in ways to improve the business and move the business forward. We realised that within the current climate that we had to do more to keep the business moving. So we contacted Business Link, and Business Link put us in contact with Mick Hadfield, who was their business advisor, and he came along and did an assessment of the business and introduced a business plan to try and move the business forward.
We concentrated on looking at the gross margins, so she's making enough money, but also about time management as well. How much time was she spending at the shop front, and how much time was being spent actually doing the core business activities, for instance, financial monitoring, etc. And we also looked at the operational side of things, and it became apparent that there was a training requirement there.
Mick introduced us to Sarah Weston from Train to Gate, who made us realise very quickly that the staff were one of our most important assets, and they introduced training within the workplace.
Train to Gain service is a free and impartial service that we offer at Business Link, and our role is to come out and identify the training needs of each individual staff member, and that can be anything from your MVQs that are generic to the hospitality sector, or it can be mandatory training such as first aid, health and safety. We needed to look at how we could really reward the staff in a training way. The main issue that we found was that they couldn't afford to have the staff go off site because they need them all here to obviously be serving and doing the day-to-day role. So we had to come up with a way that the training could be delivered on site. We're working with a local provider who is a hospitality specialist, and we've actually now finished 4 of the staff who have done a hospitality multi-skills MVQ, which is all around the food and drink preparation, the handling of money, the customer services side.
We've taken on additional staff on the back of that, and we've also bought a van that we have had sign written to deliver the buffets to the various premises.
We've now got a new pot of funding which is called Leadership and Management Training, and that's something that we're looking into Passion of Food at the moment, and what it's for is leaders and directors of the company to actually get some key skills that they need to take the company to the next step. So that's the new area that we are now looking at with Angela, and looking at her needs and her training.
Within the food and drink sector we have about 16 advisors, and all come from food and drink backgrounds. For instance, we've got people that have run their own businesses in the past, food manufacturers, hotel and restaurant owners, people that have worked in the farming and the rural industry. So that's a really big resource. We can also look at outside agencies as well. So, for instance, if you were thinking about engaging on a wider regional scale, we could look at Food Northwest, the Made in Lancashire, Made in Cheshire, Made in Cumbria. If you wanted some market research, for instance, if your game plan is to eventually go into the supermarkets, how do you do that? How do you get a barcode? How do you look at the packaging, the marketing requirements? What type of person would actually buy that sort of information? So we look at all of that. But also, if you have aspirations to sell abroad, we could go through UKTI, United Kingdom Trade and Investment, who will help you on that journey from an idea to actually exporting into other countries. If you own a food manufacturing business, then you may need help with plant layout or the specific manufacturing side, and that's the manufacturing advisory service that can be brought in to look at that. Things like the DEFRA, the Food Standards Agency, There's plenty of support out there. And let's not forget, of course, the tourist boards at the moment as well. Generally, I do feel that most people aren't aware of the breadth of services and the depth of service that you can get. It's free, it's impartial, and if we can't answer that question immediately, we can come back to you. But I think the key about the service is the continuity of it. Once you have, for instance, I'm a targeted advisor, you'll have the same advisor who can understand your business and move your business forward as well.
Now we see Business Link as a firm part of our business, and it's going to be an ongoing thing throughout the years as long as we're in business, because without them we couldn't move as forward as we have done.